Yom Tovim Yisrael, Lamed Hey. This is 50 years. Yom Tovim, yeah, you guys all have this, yeah, okay. Yom Tovim Yisrael, Kamisha Sabav Chayim HaKippurim, there wasn't for the Yom Tov as great as Kamisha Sabav and Yom Kippur. So the Gemara says, Bishlem Yom Kippurim, true, Yom Kippur I understand, there's forgiveness. The Eibusha forgives all the Avedas. There's atonement for all sins. It's gewaldig. Also, it's Yom Sheni to be Luchas Achrenes. And there's a day that the Eibusha gave the Luchas Achrenes, which we know, but the Luchas Achrenes was given much more than the Luchas Hashenes. Luchas Hashenes was only Chamish Chumsh Teren Yeshua Belvad. I'm saying the Luchas Achrenes was Mikrim Mishnah, Malacha Goddess, and everything. You find with the Shia. El Tazvav Bav Mahi. But the Gemara asks, what's the mile of Tubav? What happened? Metarz, the Gemara answers, Tubav, Iru Kamin Yonim Tevim. Many good things happen. First of all, Yom Shutr Shvat and Wavizeh Bezeh, B'chulu. Many things the Gemara mentions. What's the great advantage of these happenings that happen in Tu B'Av? That's why it should be greater than other Yom Tovim. Ubefrat, the Gemara asks even stronger. When the Gemara says, Mishnah says, there was no Yom Tov like Kamisha Asabav Chulu, Mashma Shu God Yisim Mikol Yom Tovim Gam Shal Shagolim. It's Mashma that's greater than all the Yom Tovim even Shal Shagolim.
This Gemara says?
The Mishnah says, the Rebbe is Medayik, from the fact you say, Lo Yom Tovim Yisrael, Kamisha Asabav and Mashma, that this is the greatest Yom Tov, the greatest of all Yom Tovim, even greater than Pesach, Sukkot, and Shavuos. But so, Gam Tzalom, Zeh, Shlo Yachul Kamisha Asabav Yom Kippur, Mashma, Shatu Bav, Yom Kippur, Sheyocham Zelazeh. Another question the Rebbe asks, what's the shaykhs of Yom Kippur and Tu B'Av? The fact that the Mishnah says, Lo Yom Tovim Yisrael Kamisha Asabav Yom Kippur and Mashma, they have a connection. What's the connection? V'gam Tzalom, also we have to understand, Zeh Shemayim Rizal Asim V'chesim Masechta Tainis. Why is this saying the end of Masechta Tainis? L'chora Tainis v'Yom Tov, u'prat Yom Tov God b'Yetz Shlo Yom Tovim Kimei Zeim Afochim. A fast day and a Yom Tov is opposites. We say Yehofu Yom Meil Sasson L'Simcha. But the fast is not, you don't do in a time of Yom Tov. So what's the connection of Masechtas Tainis to this Mishnah of L'ho Yom Tovim Yisrael Kamisha Asabav? So Rebbe's going to get to it in the end of the Maamar, the last question. When you know, so the Rebbe explains, the Ikra Yom Tov Tu B'Av, the main Yom Tov Tu B'Av is gemoved by Maamar. In the Maamar Shemavayr Inyan Chamisha Asabav Shel Admar Shabbos V'Seiden. That's brought in the Maamar that explains the Inyan of Chamisha Asabav and the Rebbe Shabbos. He brings me Pritz Chaim. Ki Ozu Shleimus Mila Levana. On that day, the Levana is the ultimately complete. This thing is a big question. I just saw it today, and he's been saying it later. In Pirsha Milson, the Rebbe, Mittel Rebbe, and he asks, what does this mean? The Mili Alavone is on Tu B'Av, on B'chlal Tazvav, and B'frat Tu B'Av. Here he's going to say the Mile of, it says, Pritz Chaim, Ki also Shleimus Mili Alavone, Shleimus Mili Alavone. Even more than a regular month. Oh, that's going to be that's the Hemsh Chamaim, yeah, but B'chlal, what's Pshat B'chlal Mili Alavone? What's the Lavone is complete? L'chore, always the Levana, half of it is full, half of it is empty, half of it is shining, half of it is not shining. That's the Chura. That's the one, just bring it up. It's not me, thought about it, it's not my Chiddush. Whatever that was bothering me. Over there he speaks about it. And we're going to learn different levels in the Levana. There's the higher part of but then when we see it. But Lepel, even when we see it, so only that part is full and the other side is empty. So what's the Pshat? That there's a time that the fun Elamai, but Pasha is the way we see. Okay, we'll soon see later what he says about this. But Yom Shir b'Chamish Asabav came committed to Sois Minyan Ha'ikri Shal Yem Zeh Shleimus Mila Lavona, and all the things that happen in Chamish Asabav that are just an outcome of the main point of this day. That's the ultimate completion of the Lavona. The Lavona being fully shining. So that's the Ikri Maila, and all the other things that come at Tetzov in this. Every month you have a Mila Lavona. Oh, what's the advantage of having a full moon? That it's full, although there was a descent, although it was missing, still now it became full. If someone went through a chesron and then he came to a shleimus, it's greater than a shleimus on its own. You do a klal b'alis v'yididus. It's not the general rule in alis v'yididus. The aliyah shel achra yidida, he aliyah l'mayla yis madag shel lifnei yidida. All alis yididus we say that if the comes after descent, the ascent is higher than the level that it was before the descent. That means that the descent brings a greater ascent. He comes to a higher level than he was if he would never have a yidida. If it's a greater descent, the ascent is even higher. So the greater, therefore the greatest mile of full moon is Dafke and Tubov. Because the Yidid of the Levana, of the Yidin, which are like the Levana, is the greatest Yidid is in Tubov, is on Tisha B'Av, in Chedeshov. The Tubov, the greatest Aliyah is going to be on Tubov, because that's coming after the greatest Yidid. Now, when there was no Yom Tov like Khamisa, she Yom Tov God the Yisrael, Yom Tov the Pesach of Sukkot. It's greater even the Yom Tov of Pesach and Sukkot, even though they're also on Shleimus Mila Levon Avshigam Yom Tov Meilim B'Tezvav B'Chedesh. Although these Yom Tov are on the 15th day of the month, why? Ki Aliyah the Tezvav Ben Nisan Pesach, because the elevation of Tezvav Ben Nisan Pesach, Avshibol Achar Yid the Golos Mitzrayim. Although it comes after the descent of Golos Mitzrayim, it's also coming Aliyah Shlachar Yidid. But still, Harei. But Kshiyotzi Yisrael Mitzrayim Hoysa Has Chol Savidosom Dargas Tzadikim. But when the Yidden went out of Mitzrayim, how did they serve the Eibishter? Like Tzadikim. Why? The Gershon is Gaia Kodin Shenel Domi. It wasn't a connection, it wasn't a continuation of what they were before. They were gated, they became newborns, new existences. So it wasn't a hemshech. Chen Ali the Tezvav Benis nain a hemshech kol kach la Yidid shoyis lifneiza. Although there was a Yidid, and it came after a Yidid, but it's not, the Aliyah is not so connected to the Yidid. That's when they get to Pesach. The Gam Ali the Tezvav B'Tishit Sukkos, also the elevation which happens in Tezvav B'Tishit, which that's Sukkos. After Yom Tov the Sukkos, although the Yom Tov Sukkos comes in the continuation to the Tshuva and Kapor Yom Kippur. So we know that what's Nimshach Bakesel, Yom Chagenu, whatever is hidden on Rosh Hashanah, and Yom Kippur it comes up again. The Amshach L'Maila's Yom Kippur, Amshach L'Mata Begilu is on Sukkos. So the Sukkos is behemshich to the Tshuva of Kapor Yom Kippurim. Harei Aliyah Atzma, so the Rebbe answers, Harei Aliyah Atzma Matzah Bilti Rotz Shayim Mukedem Hu B'Yom Kippurim. Getting out of the Yidid is from the not good situation is already on Yom Kippur. El Shagila Din Yom Shlim Shchum B'Yom Kippurim U'B'Sukkos. So already you had it already, the Aliyah on Yom Kippur. But then when it come down in a revealed manner, it's on Sukkos. So it's not mamish the etzema aliyah of the Yerida on Sukkos. Over here it's much more, it's aliyah lachra Yerida, it's a behemshech to the Yerida, and the aliyah itself is happening on Tubov. Therefore it's a greater Yom Tov, it's like Yisrael Nemetech HaCheshech. When you come out of the dark and you come to the light, you feel the light much more, it means much more to you. You have appreciation, and Yeshleim more than that. It's not a tif for the air, because Cheshach Atzmiyot, the Cheshach is transformed to air. So this you didn't have before Tu B'Av, before the 15th day of the month. Therefore, over here you say that's L'Hayom Tov Yisrael.
So the Yom Tu B'Av started only after the Churban.
Yeah, before it wasn't the day. Yeah, it was. No, he says first he brings Yom Tov Yeshut Shvatim Avzavazah.
No, Yom Tov Tzachon given by the
Meisei Midbar, yeah, Meisei Midbar, yeah. There's different stages, I guess. The more you read, the bigger the Aliyah, yeah. Dain so lovin, Yom Tov the Pesach Sukkos the Chag HaShavuos Hu Minat Teira. The Yom Tov of Pesach Sukkos and Shavuos is Minat Teira, is Midaraisa. V'ech efsheh sh'Yom Tov the Khamisa Sabav Yigol Yisrael Yom Tov the Shol Shagol. How's it possible that a Yom Tov, which is only midrabon, it's a Yom Tov, it's a Aliyah Shlacha Yerida, but how's it possible greater than Yom Tov Shol Shagol? One question. Kam to lovin. He says first, Khamisa Sabav then Yom Kippur. After Yom Tov Khamisa Sabav Nischaz L'Fikol HaTayim Sheb'Gemara. Kama Shonim L'Achra Yom Tov Yom Kippur. Like I said before, there's many reasons why you made Khamisa Sabav, but even the first reason that mentioned that they didn't die anymore is also only after many years, 40 years after the Yom Tov Yom Kippur. So why do we say first Khamisa Sabav? Mashma the Yom Tov Khamisa Sabav V'nai Li'ezeh Gam Yom Tov Yom Kippur. It's even greater Yom Kippur. V'tzara biur needs explanation. Gabi Yom Kippurim aliyim mimatzah bilti rotzi. The Chur Yom Kippur also has an elevation from a bad situation. The slicha mechila for all Avedas. So Maya Ma'ila Chamisha Osabov. Gabi Yom Kippurim. How can you say what is the advantage of Chamisha Osabov over Yom Kippur? So first he asks, what's the Ma'ila Gabi Yom Tiv? All the Shol Shagol Mechur. This is with that Reis. This is it's not with that Teda. Secondly, he asks, why is it higher than even than Yom Kippur? Till when do we have? I don't know the situations. Uploads.
Okay.
Okay. Next week.
Yeah.
Mitzvah Hashem, yeah.